The fourth round of the Ginetta Junior Championship from the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit was an absolute classic. It was Torin Byrne who started on pole position, but Fred Green managed to take the lead through the opening few corners and brought with him Rocco Coronel, the championship leader, slipping into second position. Unfortunately, that was really a sign of things to come for Torin Byrne, who led for the first couple of seconds of the race and then found himself on the outside of a three-wide scramble through Village on lap 1. He was tapped into a spin, and there was secondary contact from George Proudfoot-Nalder. The car continued and did recover well to 12th, but that was not the result Torin Byrne was hoping for. Likewise, there was an early spin for Joseph Smith in the number 15 car down at the club chicane, and he was then embroiled in a brilliant battle that involved a fair bit of traded paint and ultimately a spin for Felix Livesey. Torin Byrne was able to benefit from this. Livesey tapped into a spin and rejoined towards the back of the field. Freddie Lloyd and Colin Cronin were side by side midway through the race. Both drivers would eventually pick up a 5-second track limits penalty, but they engaged in some brilliant door-to-door racing before that point. With a lap and a bit to go, Rocco Coronel, who to that point had been working with race leader Freddie Green to escape the action behind, made his decisive move into Village, took the lead away and was able to hang on to the flag. There were more shenanigans in the midfield on the final lap. And amazingly, we only had one non-finisher after what was at times bruising but always entertaining race. It was the third one in a row won by Rocco Coronel.
Quite a poor quali, P7, we qualified then. The race was really tricky and it was a bit of a fight the first few laps until I got loose. But I'm really happy with third, and we also had quite good pace, I would say. Yeah, just really happy with the race, really. Yeah, we did have a little bit of a battle, but we mostly pushed together, and it was great help. I want to thank Alfie for pushing me, and yeah, you know, it was a great race, and he helped me also to push away a bit from the others. We had a bit of a fight, but it's fine.
Yeah, we had good teamwork, Rick, to be honest. He helped me get into the lead, and then we were 1-2 for the whole race, really, just pushing. We had a nice gap, but I was just sort of questioning when to start defending. Obviously, I didn't want P3 to catch us, but yeah, he got in the lead and he defended well, to be fair to the lad. Yeah, he drove a good race, and unfortunately he came out second, but I'm sure we can have a go for the win in the next few.
Start was actually really good. I was already on the inside, and then I just went with Fred. Then there was some things happening behind me, and after we just drove away, it was really good because our pace was, like, I think, the best of the whole field. We had a mega gap and there was still 4 minutes on the board, so I thought maybe I will try for a move, and it worked out. And eventually I finished P1, and that was good. The defending and the fighting with him was really good because yeah, it was really clean fighter, so that's good. And yeah, it was a good race.
The 500th Ginetta Junior Championship race took place here at the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit, and it was another absolute classic. It was Fred Green who held on to the early lead from pole position. Yesterday's winner and championship leader Rocco Coronel slotting into second position through the first few corners, as his teammate Scott Lindblom was in a world of trouble. He ran wide through Beckett's on the opening lap, and that was not to be the last drama for the second of the Red Bull liveried R racing cars. Fairly well behaved run through the first few corners, then though it all started to go wrong. Yesterday's pole sitter Torin Byrne was off the road heading towards Village, caught the gravel, spun the car and clattered into the slide outside of Alfie Slater and Scott Lindblom, who once again was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Then Emilio Del Grosso ended up off the road heading through Chapel and did well to dig the number 5 car out of the gravel trap. Torin Byrne's car though was stranded at the side of the road. That led to a safety car, and upon the race restart, Rocco Coronel made his intentions clear, latching on to Fred Green, passing him down the Wellington straight, but Fred then tried to get the lead back at Brooklands, hit the curb, spun the car and was eventually collected by an unsighted driver further back in the field. Scott Lindblom got another piece of that, and it was the 32 machine that came out worse of Ethan Lennon. Coronel came through all of this though as the race leader and held on to win the 500th race in Ginetta Juniors, his 4th win in a row.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, it was a great race with Joseph, just pushing each other, which, you know, we always planned on doing. We just never really got to in the past races because we haven't been near each other, but it was just, we did some good teamwork in that one, pushed up to Coronel, and we almost caught him at the end, but he drove well.
Me and Ethan were pushing, we were getting there, but Rocco was really quick, so it was close, but we nearly got him, but yeah, well done to Rocco and Ethan. It was a good job. I mean, the team have done an amazing job so far, so hopefully we can push and get to the front, and hopefully we'll score some good points again.
Yeah, I'm really happy, of course. Good race. There were a lot more cars than the last race. Almost all the field was there, so that's good. Pace was there. I was smart. Waited, gone for the right moment, and take the win.
John Rocco's been doing an amazing job in juniors, but why did you guys choose to come to do juniors, especially being that you're from across the water?
Well, you know, it's difficult to start when you're young in motorsport. Of course, we started in karting because I think that's the base of motorsport. But then after you start to look England, because England is the country where motorsport is invented. And I was looking for like Formula 4 type of style racing, you know, sliding with 4 wheels. And because of the age, here in England with Ginetta you can race already when you're 14, and that's not possible anywhere on planet Earth, so that's why we choose Ginetta. Rear wheel drive, and I see this as a Formula 4 with a roof, because Formula 4 is not so international, so big anymore, so that's why we choose Ginetta Juniors.
You've really adapted to the junior quite well. You've had some success already this season, so you must be pleased and excited about racing the junior for the rest of the season.
Yeah, hopefully I'm gonna be champion, but we never know. We see at the end of the season, but I'll try my best.
How does the junior car compare to you racing in karts?
Yeah, it's of course a bit different. Karts is of course a bit smaller and you're open, but yeah, it's way different feeling. Like this feels slower, but it's faster. But because you're in a karting, you're in the outside world and you can feel everything. And this you're inside of a car, but still it's really fast and I like it.
The juniors have been the jumping spot off in the past for some amazing names in the sport. Is that another reason why you chose the juniors?
I found that out later. I got this advice by Nelson Valkenburg. I said to him what I have to do with Rocco, because in karting I saw they were not growing anymore, and at this age the brain and the feeling of the kids is so unique because they learn so fast. So I started with him already drifting, I started with him driving in the Netherlands, and then I said, you know, karting is different than real motorsport racing, like the Formula cars, Formula 4. And then I said, okay, I want him to learn already racetracks, I want him to learn with rear-wheel drive cars and battling, because the battling is different, because with karting you can make dive bombing, you can make really strange moves which you don't see in motorsport. I wish I would have done this in my times, yeah. Because at my times I started Formula 4 when I was, 19. So it's 5 years older than these kids now. But I can see the learning curve of them is so strong that I think this is really good that you guys give the ability to the young kids to start as young as possible in motorsport.
The third and final Ginetta Junior Championship race for the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit was breathless, I think is the word I'd use to describe it. Maybe not so much though for Rocco Coronel, who made a pretty perfect start from pole position, led into turn 1 and proceeded to lead the entire 7-lap race. It was a pretty calm run for him. Behind is where all of the action was. This was the schmozzle that happened at the loop on the first lap. 4 into 1 didn't go. Cronin was tapped into a spin. Remy Lake tangled with Josh Watts. They all came together, and that led to a couple of laps behind the safety car as the track was cleared. Torin Byrne was again in the wars, tangling with a car at club. That loosened the front bodywork. A few more touches later on in the race would do further damage. George Prout-Fernalda had been in third position until a moment on the restart with Ethan Carney. He charged his way back through. They're getting ahead of Carney there at Beckett's just after a safety car restart, and eventually finishing an impressive 4th place. This, though, triggered a sensational battle, which at one point had as many as 12 cars engaging in all-out warfare on the circuit. In the end, it all got a little bit too much for Lloyd, who ran wide at the loop. Then, Emilio Del Grosso was tapped into a spin by Raul Zanzaran, who rejoined the circuit from that, whilst Torin Byrne's front bodywork finally parted company with the AT car on the final lap. It's a hat-trick of Silverstone wins, though, for Rocco Coronel, who extends his championship lead with a 5th victory of the year.
Yeah, I mean, Rocco got away, he was super fast, and then I couldn't do a lot, but yeah, well done to Alfie and Rocco on their podium.
We always had a bit of speed, but it's just when I saw them all hacking behind me, I sort of just eyes forwards, and then found quite a bit of time, and then just about got the toe, and it just kept me in, and yeah, I nearly had him, but I didn't. So the toe's been a massive factor, but it's been great fun. Alton, love that track. Such a good track, and I'm really excited to go there and race.
Yeah, really good. Actually, just perfect weekend. Everything was planned. The car felt good. I felt good. I just stayed calm the whole race, and yeah, it was everything was good.
It all seemed to be going off behind you, and then the guy started to catch you. Were you worried, or do you just feel that you controlled the race?
Just a bit controlling, but I was a bit worried that they will maybe catch. But I would just stay in front and win the race.